When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have two choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever, so we've made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland and Auburn for walk-in orthopedic care for recent injuries, pain, sprains, and strains.
So whether you suffered a fracture on the field or experiencing new sudden onset back pain, we'll see you now.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Life doesn't pause when you're in pain. We understand that you want to keep up. Don't stay sidelined from making some of life's best memories. Visit the orthopedic specialists at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Oxford Hills and Bonny Eagle. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC and Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. My name is Aaron Morris alongside Tasker Winslow, former Viking center, defensive back, wide receiver, quarterback at one point. You did it all there, Tasker, and now you're up here in the press box with me for what is pretty much the biggest game of the year so far, at least, for Oxford Hills, entering this game with a record of 4-1 on the season, coming off a 42-14 win at Cheverus last Saturday. Bonny Eagle, they're the top team in Class A South right now, 5-0 on the year, coming off a 35-0 win over Deering last Friday. And Tasker, obviously, Bonny Eagle not in the north, they're in the south, but the south has been dominant as of late in high school football in Class A in Maine. So this is a huge chance for Oxford Hills to make a statement. What's the team feeling like entering this game, you think?
I mean, I'm sure they're a little nervous, and it's hard to get that image of, you know, big bad Bonny Eagle out of your head from years past that we've had. But I think especially this group of athletes, they have the ability to just go out and play no matter who it is. So I think that if they do just that and they go out and play 4 quarters, they'll be all right.
The Vikings, meanwhile, after they had that 20-6 loss at Sanford, have bounced back in a big way. You were at the game last week at against Cheverus at their place, I believe it was. It was a road game for Oxford Hills, and they won easily. What were your big takeaways from watching the Vikings last week?
Well, I mean, that was probably the most complete Oxford Hills football game that I've ever watched. They were crisp. They had minimal errors and errors that didn't really hurt them in the long run. Little offense was a little slow in the first half, but definitely picked it up in the second and just laid it on them and finished that game out strong.
Yeah, 42-14, as we mentioned. The offense has been pretty explosive. That Sanford game, kind of the outlier. I mean, besides that, they've scored over 30 points in every game they've played this year. Meanwhile, Bonny Eagle, we all know what they can do. Certainly, their toughest challenge so far really has been Portland, a game that Bonny Eagle won 24-7, a home game for Bonny Eagle. But you've said before, Bonny Eagle is a little bit different when they're on the road as opposed to we're at home. They're almost impossible to beat at home, right?
Oh, yeah. Playing at Bonny Eagle, it's a hard environment to come out with a W.
Mm-hmm. And certainly Portland gave them a run for their money, though. It was tied at 7 going into the fourth quarter before Bonny Eagle ended up pulling away in that game. Obviously, if you follow the Vikings at all, you know all about their quarterback, Colton Carson. He's got 87 rushes for 509 yards and 10 touchdowns this year. He's tied for the Class A North lead in rushing touchdowns, and he's second in rushing yardage on the season to Portland's Zach Elowich. He's the QB, and he'll throw it as well. He's got 676 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His 676 passing yards, second in Class A North behind only Edward Little's Leighton Girardin on the year. When he throws it, Alex Turner's been stepping up. 5 catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. He came into the year known for his defense, but he's doing it on both sides of the ball, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely, especially with the injury to Cam Slicer.
Right.
Even though Alex was doing it before, he stepped up even more and is, taking on more of that wide receiver role, other than just playing DB like he has the past year. So yeah, like we talked about this before we went on, that people have really stepped up, and Alex is definitely one that has done that.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, keep breaking down this matchup. Bonny Eagle, Oxford Hills, here on MBR and on Ox Country.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
No one likes to wait for anything. Who has extra time to waste?
The answer is no one.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Your world is moving fast, and so are we.
If you've been hurt at work, at home, on the field, or on the course, we can see you fast.
Ortho Access is now open in Auburn at CMO Monday through Friday, 11 to 5. Come visit us with your acute injuries, pains, and strains. We'll get you back to the activities you love.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, Athletic Apparel Consultant, at 207-869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills, two teams with a combined record of 9-1 on the season. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week, and it certainly makes Game of the Week mean a lot this week because these two teams at the top of their respective divisions in Class A, with Bonny Eagle at 5-0 and Oxford Hills at 4-1. The Vikings' lone loss was a road contest at Sanford. Tough place to travel, long road trip. This time it's Bonny Eagle, though, making the long road trip up here, and the crowd, it's a packed house, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always going to be a packed house here at Oxford Hills, but especially with a big game, you know, like tonight against the #1 team in the South, then it's definitely going to be a packed house.
We've touched on some of the star players for the Vikings. Should mention that when they run the ball, obviously Carson runs it a lot out of the quarterback spot, but Parker LaFrance has 3 rushing touchdowns this year and 277 yards on the ground, and Emerson Brown has 201 rushing yards on the ground and 4 rushing touchdowns. So those 3 guys, Carson, Brown, LaFrance, they'll run it a lot. And we mentioned Alex Turner. Yannick Lutska deserves a mention. He's a guy who does it all for them, plays kicking, wide receiver, plays defense as well. So he was actually featured, I believe, in the Sun Journal as a guy who's kind of a do-it-all guy for the Vikings. So watch out for number 24 in green, certainly in this contest. But let's touch on Bonny Eagle. Obviously not a team we see a lot until the postseason up here in the north. But they actually use 2 different quarterbacks, so we'll be watching out for that. The Scots in white on the far side of the field from our point of view. Zach Maturo is a junior, 5'10", 165 pounds, and Maturo can really run the ball. He's carried it 77 times for 701 yards this year, a long run of 84. He averages 9.1 yards per carry, and he has 8 rushing touchdowns on the year. He also can throw it, although they don't do that a ton with him. He's completed 64% of his passes, but only 14 attempts this year for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's made those 9 completions count, 3 of them going for touchdowns. And so that's Zach Maturo. Their other quarterback is Keegan Meredith. He's not a runner. He'll throw it, though. He's thrown for 236 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's attempted 30 passes this year. One thing to note about both those quarterbacks, neither one of them has thrown an interception this year, and they've only lost 1 fumble as a team. And so this team, they take care of the ball, Tasker, and that's a challenge for the Oxford Hills defense, I'm sure. We'll do a quick pause, though, here for the anthem. We'll come right back. Aaron Morris alongside Tasker Winslow here in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Just had the national anthem play here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills. On the radio side of things, this is a CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on Ox Country. And Tasker, we were just touching on the fact this Bonny Eagle team really does not turn the ball over, only one turnover on the season. And so that's a real challenge for the Oxford Hills defense, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if there's any team that's going to cause some turnovers,
Yeah.
it's going to be this Oxford Hills defense. So we'll see tonight if they can keep that trend of not turning it over going, or if this defense will really get to them.
Well, you touched on that. Colton Carson, we talked about him at quarterback. He has 4 interceptions on defense this year.
Yeah, so he's making up for everything he's throwing and a little bit more.
And then Alex Turner has 3 interceptions as well on defense, and so that's certainly some playmakers in the secondary for Oxford Hills, as both teams getting pumped up now at the 50-yard line. I want to touch on Will White is the running back for Bonny Eagle, number 2. You'll hear a lot from him. 102 carries for 725 yards this year and 10 rushing touchdowns. So he's got as many rushing touchdowns as Colton Carson does on the other side. So Will White is, of course, the running back for Bonny Eagle. So when they throw it, they'll throw it to number 6, Nate Ferris. He's got 10 catches this year for the Scots for 113 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. Number 6, the wide receiver, Nate Ferris. And on defense, we touched on the playmakers in secondary, but Cole Dunham leads Class A North in tackles for the Vikings with 46.5, and Cade Truman is 3rd with 40 tackles. So those guys are all over the field.
And Cade also has an interception, I think, doesn't he?
Well, the stats don't say that, but it's quite possible. The stats are unofficial.
I'm pretty sure against Lewiston in their first game, the one that got deflected.
I thought LaFrance picked that one off, but it's possible.
I think they each had one in that game.
It's quite possible. So Bonny Eagle will start with the football because Yannick Lutzka is getting ready to kick it off, going right to left on the kickoff on your radio dial and on your video screen at home. Here's the kick. It's a high, short kick. It'll bounce and land at the 20-yard line where it's picked up there. And on the return, it's Whiting, and he's got nowhere to go. Will White on the return, number 2. One of their playmakers, but good coverage by the Vikings. Will White is a senior, 5'9", 175 pounds. You'll hear his name a lot. He does their kicking as well. He starts on both sides of the ball. He's a corner and a running back for Bonny Eagle. So here come the Scots as the first quarter is underway here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 25. The run goes right up the middle for a first down. Right off the bat, the Scots aggressive on the ground. It is their quarterback, who we talked about, Zach Maturo, who will run it a lot, and he gets a first down there, pushes the ball out to the 35-yard line to move the chains.
I wouldn't say that's anything to get worried about, just because when I played at Oxford Hills and now broadcasting these games, the first few plays, a lot of times they'll give up some short ones.
White up the middle. Parker LaFrance drags him down by his ankles, but White gets it out to near the 45-yard line, near another first down. So one good run by Maturo, and now one good run by Will White as well. That is very close to the first down marker, but not quite there. It's going to be second down and less than a yard, just shy of the 45-yard line for the Scots. As it's Maturo in the gun with White to his right. He's got 2 wide receivers split out wide on the near side to his right. And it's Maturo's going to run it near side, looking to get to the edge at the hash mark. LaFrance meets him, and also in on the stop was Travis May, but it's enough to move the chains in a first down. He got a yard to the 46-yard line to move the chains for Bonny Eagle.
You can already see that the defense is starting to settle in a little bit more compared to the first few plays.
Yeah, that was a good tackle that time by both May and LaFrance, but they only needed less than a yard, and they got a full yard there. 10:41 to go, first quarter, no score, just underway. These battle of division leaders in Class A. Maturo in the gun with White to his left, who handed off White up the middle to midfield and into Oxford Hills territory before he stopped by a number of Vikings at about the 48-yard line of Oxford Hills. LaFrance comes out of that pile. He's everywhere on both sides of the ball for the Vikings, number 15 in green, Parker LaFrance. Solid run, though, that time by White. Got 6 yards on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 4 from the Vikings' 48-yard line. Three wide receivers, two to the right for Maturo. He's got White in the backfield to his left in the gun. Puts the man in motion, and they will run it up the middle with Maturo. He faked the handoff and then ran it up the gut. And right there on the stop was Travis May, and he's a yard shy of the first down. Bring up third down for Bonny Eagle.
Parker LaFrance was in on that one again, too.
They faked it to Nate Ferris, who's a wide receiver but will run the ball sometimes on those sweeps, but not that time. Watch out for number 6 in White on the near side here. It's third and a yard for the Scots from the Viking 45. Three wide receivers. Maturo in the gun, White to his left on 3rd and 1. Fake the handoff, and Maturo to run it. He escapes one ankle tackle, still on his feet to the 40, and that'll be enough for a first down before his forward progress is stopped by Yannick Lutzka and a couple other Vikings, but that's enough for a Scott first down. And they have not attempted a pass yet. It's been all running the football, and that's expected with Maturo. He's their running quarterback. Empty backfield for now. 4 wide receivers, trips to the right. 1st and 10 from the Viking 40. Maturo, that's his first pass attempt. It's complete. And on the far side, that time is Nate Ferris. He'll get some yards after the catch inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. So solid completion for about 6 yards there.
Cade Truman hustling out there to make the tackle.
And you can see Maturo, not a lot of oomph on that pass, but it was a simple pass, and it was complete to Ferris on the far side. So they'll bring up 2nd down and 4 for Bonny Eagle. They're moving the ball fairly well on this opening drive of the game. Maturo in shotgun, he's got 3 wides, 2 to his right. Handoff, it's White up the middle. And White is stopped shy of the first down, but by about only a yard. They'll bring up 3rd and very short again. Bonny Eagle very meticulous right now. No big plays yet, but they keep moving those chains.
They're bringing it to 3rd down with every new set of downs. It's not like they're giving up huge chunks, but they're going to have to tighten down a little bit more if they want to stop this offense.
On 3rd and short, fake the handoff, but a flag, and it's going to be on Bonny Eagle, a false start. That's huge because it goes from 3rd and about a yard to 3rd and 6. So a false start, and Bonny Eagle did have some issues with penalties against Portland that kept that game very close. Both teams had penalty issues in that game, but they're not above committing some penalties, and they do there. The first one of the game moves them back 5 yards on the false start. So they're at the Oxford Hills 35-yard line. It's 3rd and 6 with 7:37 to go in the first quarter. Maturo in the gun, 3 wide receivers. Fakes the handoff to White, throws it over the middle, and a leaping catch by his tight end, Tyler Williams, 6'4", 225-pounder, right over the middle to the 25-yard line where he's immediately tackled, but that's enough for a first down.
Got to watch the play-action pass on 3rd and mediums.
He's completed over 60% of his passes this year. Not very many passes, but he's 2 for 2 today. Shotgun looking to throw it deep down the far sideline. A jump ball incomplete. Good coverage by the Vikings. That pass intended for Ferris. Nice coverage that time by Michael Bonang on the far side. So they went for kind of a big play that time, but instead it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Viking 26. Clock stops, 7:13 to go, first quarter.
It looked like that ball had a chance to get picked, but Ferris went up, and he's got some bounce. He went right over the top of Mikey Bonang and had to play a little defense there to make sure it wasn't intercepted.
First incompletion of the game. 2 wide receivers split out to the left, split backs in the backfield. And it's White off left tackle. White stiff arms Carson down the far sideline. White for the pylon. He stopped just shy of the end zone. It's going to be 1st and goal for Bonny Eagle. That's the first real explosive play. They've been kind of chipping away until right there, Will White runs it down to about the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal after a 25-yard run down the far sideline by White. Will White, 5'9", 175, showing some burst. Dawson Bradway in the backfield as well. Bradway to the right of Maturo, and White to the left. In the shotgun, 2 wide, split out wide to the right, and we have a whistle, and Bonny Eagle wants to talk it over. They're going to call timeout. with 7:04 to go in the first quarter. Quick 30-second break here on MBR and Ox Country.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
On the video side of things, this is the MBR Game of the Week. Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills. Radio side of things, CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. As we welcome you back in here to the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Right now, Bonny Eagle has it first and goal at about the 1-yard line. Bradway and White in the backfield with Maturo, the quarterback. And Maturo takes a snap, handoff White up the middle for the end zone. And that's going to be enough for a Bonny Eagle touchdown. So White punches it in from 1 yard out, and it's 6-0 Scots with 6:59 to go in the first quarter. Let's see what they try to do here on the extra point. It's a weird little snap to White, who goes in for the 2-point conversion, and that's good. I've never seen that before. They snapped it diagonally to White, who just took it right in, and it's 8-0 Scots. We'll take a quick 30-second break here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
This is the MBR Game of the Week, live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. It's 8-0 Bonny Eagle as they convert their 2-point conversion. White with a 1-yard touchdown run, and then he runs it in for 2, and White will kick it off as well. It's a roller down the far sideline, and the Vikings will just try to fall on it back on the 20-yard line. I think their coaching staff wanted them to let it go out of bounds that time, but instead they fall on it at the 20, and that's where the Vikings will start their offensive drive.
I guess in that situation, there is the chance it could take a weird hop and come back, away from the boundary. But most likely, you're going to want to just be near it, but let it go out there.
So the Vikings fall on it at the 20 after White's kickoff rolls down the far sideline. So Bonny Eagle opening drive, they get a touchdown. They're up 8-0. Vikings first possession of the game, though. Let's see what their offense can do against the Scots. Carson in the shotgun. Colton Carson puts the man in motion. They'll run it up the gut. Parker LaFrance running over some defenders out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. A solid gain on first down. Bring up 2nd and 4.
LaFrance just leveled one of Bonny Eagle's linebackers. He put his head down and just ran straight forward from the line of scrimmage for about a 6-yard gain, and that was definitely showing them that he's a power runner, and he's not going to go down easy.
Not afraid of these guys as Emerson Brown lines up in the backfield with Carson on 2nd down. They put a man in motion. That's Lutzka. Handoff goes to Brown up the gut, and Emerson Brown was a good solid run out to the 30-yard line. Very close to a first down. Right at the sticks at the 30 for Emerson Brown on that run. The Vikings like to run the football. Some years they run it more than others. This year, a pretty balanced attack, but they still have 3 guys who will run it quite frequently, and that is enough for a first down for Emerson Brown on the 4-yard carry. So LaFrance with the carry, now Brown with the carry to move the chains. Vikings trying to answer the Scots opening drive that resulted in a Will White 1-yard touchdown run. Carson in the gun with 2 wide, split out to the left. They put Bonang in motion. Carson will run it himself. 3rd different ball carrier, but he has much less success that time as he is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. That was big number 87, Tyler Williams, starting defensive tackle for the Scots. he had that catch as a tight end on their offensive drive, and that time he was right there to stop Carson for no gain.
Not what we're used to seeing with Colton Carson running the ball, but I'm sure he'll find some holes here pretty soon.
He's a powerful runner. He's had a lot of success this year out of that quarterback spot running. He's also thrown it much more than in previous seasons. And now we have a whistle. And the far side referee is going to come in and say there's a uniform issue with one of the Vikings, and that's all that was.
Had to buckle his chin strap
Yeah.
for him.
So here we go. 3 wide receivers for Carson in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. He puts Lutska in motion, and he'll fake the handoff to Yannick and will run it himself. Colton Carson still on his feet, dragging some tacklers near the 40-yard line out to the 39 and close to a first down, maybe a yard short, but a nice run that time on 2nd down from Colton Carson.
So far, this drive is looking pretty much identical to what Bonny Eagle was doing when it comes to, where they're running the ball and how much they're gaining. The offenses look pretty much identical as of right now.
4:45 to go, clock moving first quarter. That's a good point. Bonny Eagle was very meticulous on their drive. They had one big run. Vikings looking for one as well. Carson in the gun again as usual. Puts Bonang in motion, and Carson will run it. He got a block from Bonang, and he sprints forward and dives for a first down. Bonang was able to block one of the Scots in the backfield, and that was just enough for Colton Carson to leap forward for a first down to the 41-yard line. Just out across the 41, near the 42, really, for Colton Carson. Nice little play there for the Vikings in a short yardage situation on 3rd down. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 42. Carson, 3 wide receivers. 2 to the right. Brown in the backfield. Bonang in motion. They'll give it to Brown up the gut. Emerson Brown dives forward for a couple yards, just shy of the 45 for Emerson Brown. Bonang will check out. Lutska will check in. Those guys kind of doing the Cam Slicer roll where they go in motion. Parker LaFrance in for Brown. 3:40 to go, first quarter. Scots lead 8-0 over the Vikings, but Oxford Hills looking to answer on their opening drive of the game. 3 wide receivers for Carson. LaFrance in the backfield. They put Lutska in motion. They'll fake it to Yannick, and Carson will run it himself right up the gut, out across the 45 to the 47-yard line before he's driven back by some Bonny Eagle defenders. They'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Vikings. Not quite to midfield. They need to get just out across the 49 of Bonny Eagle on this next play. As Bonang will check back in for Lutska. Just like Bonny Eagle, as you mentioned, Oxford Hills running the ball exclusively so far. This is right around the time where the Scots went to the air. Let's see if the Vikings do the same. They have Pruitt split out wide on the near side. 3 wide receivers. On 3rd down, Carson puts Bonang in motion. Carson, he will go to the air over the middle looking for Turner, and off of Turner's hands and incomplete. That was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball thrown by Colton Carson, and Turner just could not handle it. 4th down. And they will punt, it appears, as Carson checking out and Lutska coming back in to punt it. Back deep to return for Bonny Eagle is Zach Maturo. He's their running quarterback who led them to that opening drive touchdown that Will White punched in. Lutska to punt, standing at his own 35-yard line. Standing at his own 25 is Maturo. Now the Vikings put some men in motion out to the far side to give the Scots something to think about. He'll directionally kick it, and that's not what they needed, because that's going to be out of bounds depending on where they spot it. It's going to be very good field position regardless for the Scots. Out across the 45, just shy of midfield. So that punt only went maybe 15 yards in the air.
It looked like he felt the pressure and had to shorten up his kick a little bit to make sure it wasn't blocked. And when you do that, usually the ball doesn't go very far.
So this is a tough situation for the Viking defense because Bonny Eagle's going to start 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line after the short punt by Yannick Lutska. 2:30 to go in the first quarter of action, and here come the Scots offense. Will White in the backfield. They have their passing quarterback, Keegan Meredith, is in. Meredith in the shotgun. So this is their other QB. Meredith takes a snap, and we have a whistle and a flag and a false start on Bonny Eagle to move him back 5 yards. So Keegan Meredith, 6'3", 170 pounds. Maturo only 5'10", so he's much taller than Maturo. He's not a runner at all, so he's either going to hand it off or pass it.
I definitely looked like they were passing there,
Yeah.
and then I saw pretty much all of Oxford Hill's secondary motioning to each other to watch the pass.
Meredith on 1st and 15 after the false start will just hand it off. It's White up the middle to midfield. Good tackle there by Lutska, but not before White gets some of those yards back. And it'll bring up 2nd down and about 7. Just across midfield that time from Will White. On a very solid run on 1st and 15 to get them back from behind the sticks there. So Meredith, again, not really a threat to run, although you never know. 3 wide receivers in the shotgun. White to his right. Meredith will option it and pitch it to White, and White gets across midfield and dives forward to the 46-yard line. Very quick pitch. J.J. Worcester in on the stop for the Vikings. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 3 for Bonny Eagle.
Another big play for the Oxford Hills defense.
Yeah, they were unable to get off the field on 3rd down in the opening drive, although there were a lot of 3rd and very shorts. Meredith certainly not afraid to pass it. Again, they have not been picked off this year. They've only lost 1 turnover on the season, has Bonny Eagle. 3 wide receivers for Meredith on 3rd and 3 in Oxford Hills territory. White on the handoff, and he's got the 1st down and then some. Out across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. So Will White, very effective so far, as we expected. Bonny Eagle, they love to feature White, and he's been outstanding. 1:01 remaining, clock moving, 1st quarter. Scots lead 8-0, and they're on the move inside the 40 at the 38 of Oxford Hills, 1st and 10. Meredith in shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw, rolls to his right, fires near side, it's caught inside the 30-yard line, and then flung down is Chase Graves, a junior wide receiver for the Scots, and that's enough for a Bonny Eagle 1st down. And that pass, Tasker had some zip on it.
Yeah, not quite a Colton Carson fastball, but had some zip on it.
And great job by Graves to haul it in, the starting wide receiver, one of their starters. He's on the near side this time. 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10 for Bonny Eagle. Meredith looking to throw deep down the far sideline. Jump ball. And at the goal line, it is incomplete.
Definitely testing Mikey Bonang early, seeing if they can throw at him a little bit. He's done well so far.
That pass was intended for Sean Brilliant, a junior wide receiver at 6 feet, 160 pounds. But Brilliant, good coverage that time by Bonang. And it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 21 seconds to go in the quarter. At the 27 of Oxford Hills, the handoff goes to White. Running far side, and good pursuit that time. Nice tackle, Yannick Lutska on the stop. There is a flag on the play on the far sideline. Clock stops with 14.6 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Is holding on Bonny Eagle. You wonder, it's going to be 3rd down. Well, I guess they will move them back. And I believe they repeat the down, so they will take the yards as opposed to making it 3rd and 8. It's going to be 2nd and quite a bit longer. But they do get an extra down now.
I think I don't know. I might take the loss of down there and just have it be 3rd and 10.
Because it was a great play by Yannick on the far side, and now
giving them another play to make up the yards.
Clock winds down. That's the end of the 1st quarter. We'll take this break. The end of 1 quarter, Bonny Eagle 8, Oxford Hills nothing here on MBR and Ox Country.
When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have 2 choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever, so we've made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow welcoming you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth live at the Gawaiian Athletic Complex, home of the Oxford Hills Vikings. It's the MBR Game of the Week on your video feed. Links to listen and watch at mbrradio.com. Bonny Eagle, Oxford Hills. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Right now it's Bonny Eagle 8, Oxford Hills nothing, as we begin the second quarter of action with the Scots trying to keep the pressure on the Vikings. They have it second down and 18 after the holding call.
It looked like it was about 2nd and 20 on the other side. But
Yeah.
now they have it under 2nd and 15.
There's a little question about where the ball is going to be spotted, because what happened was the first quarter ended with a holding call, but then when you moved the second quarter, you flipped the field. So they have to know where to spot the ball when they flip the field, and they have to know where to spot the chains as well. The chain gang had to be reassessed and moved further down the field. Nonetheless, they have it figured out, it appears, and the Scots will have the football second down and long from the Vikings' 36-yard line, about 18 yards to go. All right, that's all addressed. And once again, it is their passing quarterback, Keegan Meredith, taking the snap and handing it off to White, and he is dropped in the backfield. Big hit that time by Cole Dunham.
Wow. He came in like a heat-seeking missile and took him out below the knee. That was a great blitz and a great tackle by Cole Dunham. Well, I'm going to assume it was a blitz because of how fast he was in there. It might not have been, but it looked like it.
Will White that time nowhere to run and nowhere to hide from Dunham, the leading tackler in Class A North, with a big hit. So 3rd and long now for Bonny Eagle, 11:30 and counting to go in the half. They lost 2 yards on the play, so it's now 3rd and 20. Up 8-0 though, and they got 3 wide receivers for Meredith who can throw it. White to his left, Meredith in the shotgun. And we have a whistle and a timeout. Oh, delay of game. No timeout at all. Delay of game on Bonny Eagle. We'll move them back 5 yards and make it 3rd and 25. So the Scots moving in the wrong direction here.
Takes a little pressure off the defense. Not much, but a little bit.
Meredith at 3rd and 25 now from the Viking 43-yard line. White to his right in the backfield. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and a mile here. Meredith rolls to his right. Going to throw on the run. Incomplete. Throw was short. Not quite sure who he was going for. There were a couple of receivers in the area. Nonetheless, it brings up 4th down after the incompletion. 11:10 remaining in the half. Bonny Eagle up 8-0, but Tasker, that's huge for the Viking defense. Confidence-building stop, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Even though, it was a 3rd and 25, seemed like a pretty easy stop, it's still gives them quite a bit of confidence.
Well, we saw the other Class A South team they played, Sanford, make some ridiculous 3rd and long conversions, so it's good to not have one there. Will White will punt it. Bonang back deep. White at the 50-yard line. His rugby-style kick rolls dangerously down to the 15-yard line. Parker LaFrance almost had that one hit him in the foot, but no harm, no foul, and the Vikings take over 1st and 10. Sometimes when those punts don't go in the air.
I think he meant to do that. That's a pretty good strategy to try to, a low bouncing kick to try to get it to hit someone on the return team.
Certainly, strategy there from White nearly worked. However, the Vikings take over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line with 11 minutes remaining in the half. Let's see if the Oxford Hills offense can get something going. They got a couple first downs on their opening drive. LaFrance in the backfield with Carson. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 to his right on 1st and 10. Carson puts Lutzke in motion. He'll fake the handoff and throw it deep down the seam. He's got J.J. Worcester, who makes the catch and drag down just shy of the 40-yard line. Big play on 1st down to the 38, 1st and 10 Oxford Hills.
right from the beginning of the season, me and you, we both realized that Colton loves to hit his big guys down the seam, and that's exactly what they did there. Went with a little play action and just gave them the little tight end pot pass over the middle.
Worcester's 8th catch of the year. 1st and 10 at their own 38 now for the Vikings after a strong play to start this drive. Lutzka in motion. They'll give it to Yannick this time, running far side. Lutzka trying to get to the edge. He does. He's at midfield. 45-40 down the far sideline. Tripped up just shy of the 35. A big run. Yannick Lutzka, he stepped out of bounds at the 41, but it's another first down for the Vikings.
And those are exactly the big plays that Oxford Hills was looking for. And it's one thing to have big plays like that, but to string more than one together in a row, that really helps out.
Into Bonny Eagle territory to the 41, a first down for Oxford Hills. The chains are a little tangled up right now, but the Vikings are on the move.
That chain gang's having some trouble over there.
Well, I'm sure they're volunteers.
Yeah.
So you can't give them too much.
Good for them.
4 wide receivers. Worcester in the slot on the near side for Colton Carson. He's got LaFrance in the backfield. He'll give it to Parker LaFrance, and Parker LaFrance falls forward past the 40-yard line, but not much there that time for LaFrance. Maybe a couple yards to the 40. 2nd and 8 coming up for Oxford Hills at the Bonny Eagle 40-yard line, trailing 8-0 with 10:05 to go in the half. Clock moving. Lutzka checks in again after Bonang was in for a play. Brown, Bonang, Lutzka, LaFrance, they ought to be ready right by their head coach to come in at any time. All right, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They put a man in motion, that's Lutzka. And a little trouble that time on the read. Lutzka ended up with the football. There's a late flag on the play. Tyler Williams made the stop, but the head official, I thought, threw a flag. Did he not?
Was it a flag or a marker?
Might have been a marker. My mistake. So no flag.
It did look like a flag.
I saw him toss something. I was looking through the binoculars, and it was not a flag. My apologies. Basically what happened there was I don't think Carson quite knew if he wanted to give it to him or not. They ended up getting the ball in Lutzka's hands, but he was driven back for a loss, so it's 3rd and long. Just about 11, 12 yards to go here now. Still in Bonny Eagle territory. Carson in the gun with Brown. Carson rolls to his right, now settles in the pocket. He gets hit while he throws deep down the near side. Oh, he had a wide open Alex Turner, but it was a little bit overthrown. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got hit while he threw. I don't know if that affected the pass. But it was just a little bit too far.
They had 2 wide open. Alex Turner and Yannick Lucia were both wide open.
You wonder if one of them ran the wrong route because normally you don't see guys with
Right.
that similar routes. But
Right.
they were both open. It was just too far. Lucia to punt it. And back deep is their running quarterback, Zach Maturo, to return it, standing at his own 10. Lutzka on the punt. That time a solid kick, but it's a line drive right to Maturo. Oh, he's tripped up after only a couple yards on the return. Nice stop that time by the Vikings. It was Ty LeBlond, I believe, on special teams. Sophomore.
He's an amazing athlete. I've watched him coming up through middle school and his freshman year, and he deserves to be playing on this varsity team as a sophomore.
Great job on special teams by the 5'8", 150-pound Ty LeBlond, because it was a line drive kick. It was a solid kick. He got good leg on it, but it was right at Maturo, which can be dangerous sometimes, but LeBlond with a great tackle. Just tripped him up. So, 1st and 10 from their own 15 for Bonny Eagle. And they have Maturo back in at QB. They had more success with him than Meredith. Man in motion. Maturo will keep it himself, though, up the middle. And he's tackled by a pair of Vikings, including Michael Bonang, but out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. A 6-yard gain on 1st down for the speedy Zach Maturo. So Bonny Eagle, they like to rotate the quarterbacks. They had great field position with Meredith last time and could not do anything with it. Penalties hurt them. This time, not very good field position, but Maturo, very explosive player, into the game again for the Scots. 8:10 to go in the half. And Bonny Eagle sure has taken their time here.
It's got to be a good feeling knowing you have 2 quarterbacks that you can that you can switch back and forth between depending on, who's got the hot hand.
Bonny Eagle calls a timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second break here on MBR and Ox Country. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow, welcoming you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills, live from the Gwine Athletic Complex, home of the Vikings. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Bonny Eagle called timeout there. They got 2nd and 3 from their own 22-yard line, leading 8-0, and they're in the second quarter. Maturo puts a man in motion. He'll give it to White. White on the far side. He's got nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. From a host of Vikings, they bring him down. For a loss on the play, LaFrance got in there late, but there were a couple other Vikings making a big impact. Emerson Brown was in the mix of that as well. So they lost yards there. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You would think with this big physical defense of Oxford Hills that one of their weaknesses would be run plays to the outside like jet and buck sweep and that kind of stuff. But it seems like just the pursuit that they take, and it doesn't matter that people may be faster than them, they can get out there and make a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 5, Maturo running for it, near side. He's got nowhere to go. He is swarmed, and he is dropped. The Viking defense was all over it. Parker LaFrance in the middle of that one again for Oxford Hills. 4th down. Oh, it's Viking defense starting to really turn it up a notch. They force the punt again. Will White to punt it. Bonang standing at midfield. Last time White tried to punt one low and hit a Viking. It did not quite work. It almost did. Let's see what he does here. Bonang continuing to back up. White starting to run. He drops the ball. Now he'll look to run for the 1st down, and he's dropped, and the ball comes out, and it doesn't matter. It's going to be Viking football no matter who recovered it, and it's going to be Viking football in the red zone.
Wow. What a momentum shift in that last drive. And now they're in great position to come down, score, and possibly tie the game up.
Parker LaFrance in the middle of that one again, although White just plain dropped it as he started to run. He tried to get a running start on the punt. They were not faking that. He tried to get a running start on the punt, and he just dropped the football, and then there was nowhere to go. A huge opportunity for Oxford Hills. 1st and 10 from the Bonny Eagle 13-yard line. Carson with LaFrance in the backfield. In the gun, takes a snap. Hand off LaFrance. Up the gut. There goes Parker LaFrance inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line, and a 1st down for the Vikings. 1st and goal, Oxford Hills. They're on the doorstep. 6:27 to go. Second quarter, clock moving. Vikings trailing 8-0. But the big drop snap, basically, has set them up in great field position after the failed punt. Brown to the right of Colton Carson. They put a man in motion. It's Emerson Brown up the middle. He is denied. Just shy of the end zone, maybe at the 2-yard line here. Bring up 2nd and goal.
It's situations like this where I wish that they still had the power eye in the playbook, because I really don't think they do. We haven't seen it at all this season, and they still have a lot of the size. Put J.J. Worcester in the backfield at fullback, and then Emerson Brown, a short yardage, tough running back. They could really do it in short yardage situations like this, but we just haven't seen it.
LaFrance the back, 3 wide receivers, Carson in the gun on 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Carson takes a snap, looking to keep it himself, off right tackle, into the end zone, touchdown, Oxford Hills! And the score is 8-6 with 5:24 to go in the half, with the extra point try coming up. And obviously a situation here where you go for 2, because I would imagine, oh, wow.
I don't think they are.
They are not going to go for 2. They're going to look for the 1. Yannick Lutska on to kick the extra point, it appears. Noah Wefarrow to hold. Let's see if they actually do end up kicking it. They're in the formation. Bonny Eagle player might have jumped. Extra point is up. It's good. Lutska's been great on the extra point this year. So with 5:24 to go in the half, the score is Bonny Eagle 8, Oxford Hills 7. We'll take a quick break here on MBR and Ox Country.
Life doesn't pause when you're in pain. We understand that you want to keep up. Don't stay sidelined from making some of life's best memories. Visit the orthopedic specialists at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. If you're on the video side of things here from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth, you saw Bonny Eagle return the kickoff to the 33-yard line, their own 33. This is the MBR game of the week, Oxford Hills and Bonny Eagle, and so far we've had a good one. Bonny Eagle does have the lead, but it's by 1 point, 8-7. The only difference is Bonny Eagle on their opening drive converted a 2-point conversion, while the Vikings, after they score a touchdown, after what basically was a rare turnover from Bonny Eagle, the Vikings decided to go for just one on the extra point, and they got it. So they're down 8-7. Bonny Eagle with the football. Meredith's on the pitch to Maturo, who's running the football. So they have both quarterbacks out there, I believe, at the same time, if I'm not mistaken there. Yeah, it is number 7, Maturo, on the run, and he'll get a few yards out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Will bring up second down. So they have Keegan Meredith in at quarterback. Maturo just checked out, but he did get the pitch that time. And Will White is in at the running back position. So Meredith, their passing QB, he does not run it very often, if at all. 4:45 to go in the half. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard run by Maturo. Meredith in shotgun with White to his left. Handoff White running up the gut. And he is stopped right at the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up third down. And J.J. Worcester on the tackle for Oxford Hills.
Another 3rd and short situation. If they can get a stop here, that's going to be huge.
That would be huge indeed. With 4:18 to go in the half, it's 3rd down and 3, a long 3 here from the 40-yard line for Bonny Eagle. Meredith with White to his left, 3 wide receivers. They just give it to White, and he is denied. He has nowhere to run. Oxford Hills all over it. And at the ankles, Emerson Brown was the first man there for the Vikings. That'll bring up 4th down. And back deep to return is Michael Bonang, as they're going to have to punt it. And last time it was a disaster, as White fielded the snap cleanly and started to run, get a running start basically for a directional punt. And while he was running, he dropped the football. And I didn't even see who recovered it. It didn't matter because it was turnover on downs or a fumble, and Vikings converted and scored a touchdown. This time on the running start, he's going to just straight up run it. Near side, White trying to get to the edge, and he is tackled. He's got a first down. White able to get out across the 45 to 46-yard line before Worcester, along with David Dingley, made the stop, but not before. That time, White decided he's just going to run it himself, and he does move the chains on the fake punt.
Yeah, I think he has the option. By the way it looks, I think he has the option on every punt. And that one, he thought he could get it, and he did. He's had quite a bit of speed there. He got up to speed pretty fast.
You've heard of the run-pass option. That's a run-punt option.
Right.
Something I've never seen before, really. So it worked there. 1st and 10 from their own 46 now. And White on the run up the middle, but this Viking defense continues to be very quick to the football as David Dingley came flying in that time. First man there after a 3-yard run to the 48-yard line for White. So that'll bring up second down. Clock at 2:42 and moving, remaining in the half. The score is Bonny Eagle 8 and Oxford Hills 7. And Meredith still the quarterback in the shotgun. He's got an empty backfield for now. A couple tight ends in there, 3 wide receivers. He'll put a man in motion. That is going to be a fake. And Meredith, a rare run, and he's got a first down. He doesn't run it that often, as Farrell was in on the stop, but Meredith able to get a first down, I believe, inside the 45. He did, down to the 44 of Oxford Hills. Entering this game, you look at Meredith, not really a runner, 15 carries for 14 yards. 2:05 to go in the half. Meredith in the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the Viking 44. Bonny Eagle trying to extend their lead. White on the run, and he is spun around by J.J. Worcester, maybe a yard. Looks like no gain on the play will bring up 2nd down. And Bonny Eagle, they know they got themselves a game on their hands. Bonny Eagle won the state title 2 years ago. They lost to Thornton in the semis last year. Here's the pass from Meredith, deep down the far sideline. He's got his man. Caught by Nate Ferris for a first down before he's driven out of bounds at the Viking 30-yard line. So that'll be a first down and then some for Bonny Eagle with 1:22 to go in the half. And Bonny Eagle on the move. White to the right of Meredith, 3 wides. White right up the middle on the run, and he's near another first down before he's tripped up by, I believe, Lutska that time. It was. And they're in the hurry-up mode. He got 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Meredith in the gun. It's White again, up the gut, falls forward for a first down inside the Viking 20, down to the 18.
I don't think Bonny Eagle has any timeouts left, do they? Or they might have one.
They've had to use a few because of some communication issues. Yeah, they're in the hurry up here. 52 seconds left. Clock now moving again, leading by 1. Can the Viking defense make a big stand here before the half? We have a whistle and a flag and a false start on the Scots. We'll move them back 5 yards. So that'll slow them down for a moment with 45.6 seconds remaining in the first half. They're at the Viking 29-yard line. It's first down and 15. The handoff, White again, and this time he is denied. First man there was Marcus Stone, a sophomore. And they're not throwing it, surprisingly there. 21 seconds left, clock still moving. In the shotgun, clock ticking down inside 20. Meredith, he will throw this one over the middle. He's got his man. Turner with the tackle. The catch was made by Sean Brilliant, but he's shy of the first down, and I believe they will now use their final timeout of the half with 11.9 seconds left.
Yeah, that must be their last. They definitely used 2 before, so.
Ball spotted down at near the 10-yard line here, right at the 10-yard line. They were shy of the first down, so they called timeout with 11.9 seconds left. We'll keep it right here as we get down to the end here of the first half. And, I mean, this is such a huge play coming up. Bonny Eagle, they did not even kick an extra point. You mentioned that they've been doing that for years, the 2-point conversion they did.
Yeah, it's kind of a swinging gate type 2-point conversion thing. Yeah, they come out and make it look like they might kick it, even though they don't have any offensive linemen, and then they just throw it diagonally over and just run it straight up through.
Yeah, and that's what White did. White is their place kicker. He has made 1 field goal. His only attempt this year from 27 yards. Right now it's 3rd and 2 from the 10-yard line with 11.9 seconds left. You better believe they're thinking touchdown, though. Meredith in the gun, White to his right on 3rd and 2 in the red zone. Meredith to throw. He's looking for White, and he's got him at the near pylon. He's in for the touchdown. Will White, that time from Keegan Meredith, 10-yard touchdown pass, and Bonny Eagle goes up 14-7 with the extra point coming up. Now we'll see if they do the 2-point conversion again. They appear to be lining up for something of that nature.
Nope, they're just going to kick it.
Now they're just going to kick it.
Yep.
Depends on what they see, I suppose. White is their place kicker. He just caught the touchdown pass. White's extra point is up, and it's good. So now they go up by 8, and that's interesting because you think in that situation maybe they'd want to go for 2 and go up by 2 scores, right?
Yeah.
Instead, they're up by 1 score still, 15-7.
Some odd point after decisions tonight.
Quick 30-second break here on MBR.org and Ox Country.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Aaron Moore's alongside Tasker Winslow. 6.5 seconds to go in the half. Bonny Eagle just scored a touchdown, 10-yard touchdown catch by Will White. On the ensuing kickoff, they boot it low, and it's smothered right at the 35-yard line that time by Cade Truman. The Vikings, with 4.6 seconds left, will have one play. I imagine they'll take a knee unless they have something up their sleeves here against Bonny Eagle. It's been a very good first half, folks. Both teams have played pretty well. One big mistake by the Scots set up Oxford Hills with great field position, and they made them pay with a Colton Carson touchdown run. His 11th touchdown run of the year. As Carson in the shotgun.
Looks like they're lining up.
They're lining up for a play here with only 4 seconds left at their own 35-yard line. They're going to go for something here. Carson looking to throw deep down the middle of the field. It's intercepted. They got to tackle him. Still on his feet, and now they do bring down Alex Dyer. We haven't called Alex Dyer's name yet, but he's their leading tackler on the season, one of their safeties. They do tackle Dyer on the final play of the half after the interception. And that will conclude the first half of action. So they took a shot down the field, but Dyer, the free safety, did his job and picks it off. At the half, here from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth, the score, Bonny Eagle 15, Oxford Hills 7. We got a one-score game at the break. And we'll take a quick break and come back with a little halftime update here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
So the athlete is usually either sent over from their athletic trainer, from their primary care physician, or sometimes from the school directly. My goal is always to get these kids in within 24 hours from the time of their injury. There are a few reasons why they would need to go to the ER that after, if they had an injury at a game, which the athletic trainer usually takes care of. But most of the time these kids are fine enough to wait until the next day, just rest that night, and then we'll see them the next morning. So the first visit is like any other office visit we'll have. We'll have them come in, fill out the paperwork about their injury, their concussion, and kind of go through their symptoms, and then we'll do an exam, which is pretty thorough regarding their balance, their range of motion of their neck, as well as looking at their cranial nerves, any dysfunction that we can find. A lot of times it's more the, just looking at the athlete, and you can see the concussion almost in their eyes. A lot of times there's not a whole lot else on exam that we can find, and that's good. Usually if you see something more focally, a focal neurologic defect, that's where we're getting a little more concerned. Some of these kids will recover really quickly. Other ones can take weeks and months to fully resolve. Most importantly, once again, is the physical exam and just talking to the patient. In terms of scans, it's rare that you need to do any scans, especially a CT scan. Those are more reserved for if somebody had a prolonged consciousness, or they're having worsening symptoms, or they have a focal neurologic defect. As long as they don't have those, we rarely don't do any imaging, because there's not much you're going to see. Concussion is an injury microscopic injury to the brain. It's not something that you can see on a normal imaging study. When you're doing a CT scan, you're looking more to see if there's a bleed, which is complicating the picture. The only test that we do run is there is the impact test, which is one of the cognitive testing tools that are out there to help determine, for me, more return to play. It's not a tool that helps to necessarily, I don't use it to diagnose a concussion. It helps me to really determine if the brain has recovered and are they ready to get back to more to their sporting level. So it's really an adjunct rather than the tool. Usually if it's going on 2 weeks, we don't recommend going to PT in those first 2 weeks. We just try to get them better because the majority of people will improve in that amount of time. If they're still having symptoms after a couple of weeks, then we'll discuss maybe getting into some rehab to see if we can hasten their recovery. That being said, when we work with professional athletes, a lot of times they are trying to get right in, they need to get back, so we are getting them into rehab, sometimes right away, to try to hasten their recovery as well. So the follow-up for me for concussions, once again, depends on their symptoms. After our initial visit, we'll really discuss our plan for the short term and any restrictions for school and sports. I usually have the parents contact me, usually within about a week, to let me know how the student's responding. And if they have resolution of symptoms, there's no reason to follow up. If they're still having symptoms, then I will usually discuss once again my thoughts for the next week. And if they're just not responding over a couple of weeks, that's when I usually start seeing them back. Or if I have an athlete who's been having symptoms for weeks and weeks on end, that really needs kind of a closer follow-up. We'll follow up with them quite regularly with their physical therapy to make sure that they're progressing in the right direction.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morris alongside Tasker Winslow. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills. And on the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We are at halftime here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. Halftime sponsor, thanks to Oxford Federal Credit Union. Brilliant sponsor of our halftime here. And the Vikings trail the Scots by a score of 15-7 at the break. A little quick recap of the first half. Bonny Eagle received the opening kickoff, and they just worked their way down the field, converted a number of third and shorts. A big run by Will White got him down to the 1 yard line, where he then would punch it in to put the Scots up 6-0. They went for two, and White ran that one in to make it 8-0 in favor of Bonny Eagle. However, later in the first half, on a punt, Will White started running with the ball, looked like he was about to kick it, and then just dropped it by accident. And the ball squirted loose, and I wasn't even quite sure who fell on it, but the result was Oxford Hills football at the Bonny Eagle about the 15-yard line, and then they ended up getting it down close to the end zone, and then Colton Carson was able to punch it in. And then they went for one and made it, so they were down 8-7 at that point. And then the last drive of the half, Bonny Eagle was able to go in their hurry-up offense. They got it down to the 10-yard line. And then on 3rd down and 2 at the 10-yard line with about 10 seconds left in the half, it was a good throw by Keegan Meredith to Will White at the near pylon, and White caught it for a touchdown. And this time they went for the old-fashioned normal extra point, and White made the extra point to make it 15-7. One common thread there, Tasker, is I mentioned Will White about 15 times there because he is the focus of this offense every which way, isn't he?
Yeah, he seems to be doing it all for them, and he's doing it all. That's pretty much all you can say about it. But yeah,
he's a guy they got a key on, basically, right, for the
right.
Vikings
Yeah,
defense.
definitely for the Oxford Hills defense, they got to watch him, and they got to watch him not only on the run but as a pass catcher coming out of the backfield too.
Bonny Eagle showed they can score with both their quarterbacks. Zach Maturo led that first drive for a touchdown, and Keegan Meredith was the one who led their second drive for a touchdown in that first half. So it is 15-7, Bonny Eagle at the break. We'll take another 3-minute break here at halftime and come back with the second half kick. This is the MBR and CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on MBR.org, radio feed MBRradio.com, and on Ox Country.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Life doesn't pause when you're in pain. We understand that you want to keep up. Don't stay sidelined from making some of life's best memories. Visit the orthopedic specialists at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. This is the MBR Game of the Week. All your links can be found at mbrradio.com. We've got a video feed on the homepage of mbr.org for Bonny Eagle and Oxford Hills. On the radio side of things, we are live on 96.9 Ox Country. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week, and it's lived up to that so far, certainly at the half right now. Bonny Eagle leading by a score of 15-7. Will White has a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown for Bonny Eagle. Colton Carson has a rushing touchdown for Oxford Hills in this game. And Tasker, obviously, we're about 2 minutes and 30 seconds from the start of the second half, and this is going to be interesting, certainly. I mean, Oxford Hills, it's an interesting game, right? Because they want to make a statement against a team from the other side of the bracket once you get to the postseason, right? But in the end, this is almost like a real nice little test for them before they battle Portland next week, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If they can, pull off this win, that's going to make the game next week a lot different going into it for Portland especially. But they were sorry.
No, go for it.
But yeah, it's gonna make it a lot different for Portland going into next week. It's going to change how they look at this Oxford Hills team. If they don't take them seriously right now, they definitely will if they can pull this out. And I think this game is open to either team as of right now. I don't think either one team has the edge, except that Bonny Eagle has the edge on the scoreboard. I think it's whoever handled, a cold halftime better and whoever can come out with more momentum starting in the second half.
Yeah, we're nice and secure inside this press box here, but I think we'll get a little chilly out there.
Oh, yeah. We can definitely feel the draft coming in the windows. It's a little cold.
So the Vikings were able to take advantage of Bonny Eagle's lone mistake in that first half, which was the fumble by White on that run-punt option play they do. But then later in the half, that run-punt option worked because White has really good speed. For a defense, what do you do there when you're looking at a situation like that where the punter might just take off and run at any moment?
Right, it's kind of hard because part of you wants to get back and make sure you block for the return, but the other half, while you're running backwards, you got to be able to stop and come up and make a tackle pretty quick, especially on a short yardage situation.
So we'll see how they handle that. They're hoping for a lot more of those situations because they obviously want to force Bonny Eagle to punt as much as possible. But this is a Scots team that they certainly were not tested last week, 35-0 over Deering. They gave up 20 points, surprisingly, I think, to Massapesic.
Wow.
With a 38-20 win. And their toughest game so far was Portland, where it was tied at 7 going into the fourth quarter before Bonny Eagle really asserted themselves and won 24-7. They blew out Sanford 47-8, and then their first game of the year they beat South Portland 34-6. So Bonny Eagles, they've won every game by double digits, but here they're only up by 8, and the Vikings, I think, have a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah. Going back to that run punt option, I think the best thing they could do is probably have Parker LaFrance or Cole Dunham, one of the linebackers, just kind of spy him and not leave until he knows that he's kicked the ball. I think that's the best way to do it, to make sure that he doesn't get a head start off the line.
Good news for Oxford Hills, they get the ball to start the second half, as I'm pretty sure they won the toss and then deferred to the second half, so they get the ball to start. So White will kick it off. Alex Turner and Michael Bonang are back deep for the Vikings. Turner on the near side, and then Bonang on the far side of the field. As we're about ready to get quarter number 3 underway, White on the kickoff. It's going to be Bonang on the run at the 15 to the 20, 25, middle of the field, 30, before he's tackled out across the 30-yard line. First man there for Bonny Eagle was Andrew Thomas. But a nice return from Michael Bonang, and that's where Oxford Hills will start. 1st and 10, right out across their own 30-yard line. As the third quarter is underway with the Vikings trailing by 8. 15-7, it is a one-score game here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex between the Bonny Eagle Scots, who won the state title 2 years ago, and Oxford Hills, who is trying to get a first-round bye in the playoffs this season in the North. They got 3 wide receivers here. Colton Carson in the gun, with Parker LaFrance on the carry, and LaFrance gets maybe a yard before he's stacked up by a number of Scots.
It looked like they were going for the ball, like the ball came out, but no signal from the refs.
A little slow getting up that time was number 8, Alex Dyer. He's their star player on defense. He had the interception right at the end of the first half on what was basically a Hail Mary throw by Carson. Dyer was one of the first guys in there on that stop on the run by LaFrance. Emerson Brown is in, and they put Lutzka in motion, and Carson will keep it. Colton Carson on the far sideline. Carson cuts back, and he's finally tripped up in the open field. Nice tackle that time by Will White, but Colton Carson has a first down to the 42-yard line.
That looked like it could have gone for touchdown.
Yeah, it was a great play by White. He got in there for the stop. He went low and was able to trip him up, but out across the 42 to the 43 for Colton Carson. Still in their own territory, but a first down. Nice run by the University of Maine baseball commit. Carson in shotgun with LaFrance to his right on 1st and 10. It's Parker LaFrance up the middle for maybe a yard. First man there for Bonny Eagle is Tyler Williams. No gain that time really from LaFrance, maybe a yard. LaFrance will check out, and Emerson Brown checks back in. 10:22 to go, third quarter. The score is 15-7 in favor of Bonny Eagle. 2nd and 9 for Oxford Hills as they look to rally here, down by 8. Carson in the gun with Brown to his right. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Far side, he's got J.J. Worcester at midfield, and he's driven out of bounds by Dyer, but not before Worcester gets it to the Bonny Eagle 45, and a first down for the Vikings.
Getting some good chunk plays here. Putting a good drive together so far.
Carson's got a strong arm, we know that, and he delivered a bullet right there to J.J. Worcester. Second catch of the game for Worcester. He had one over in the middle of the field in the seam in the first half. That time along the sideline. Trips to the left on 1st and 10 in Bonny Eagle territory. Carson takes a snap, back to pass, in the pocket, throws near side. He's got a wide open receiver at the 35. It's Pruitt inside the 25 and dragged out of bounds by Zach Maturo. But Johnny Pruitt, with his first catch of the game, the senior, moves the chains and then some.
Colton Carson is dropping dimes right now.
That was a rocket to a wide open Pruitt, and he gets it down to the Bonny Eagle 25-yard line.
The only thing he's got to be careful about in this weather is hurting his receiver's hands.
That's right. Well, there was one he fired in the first half that Turner just, I think, came up on him so quickly.
Yeah.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Oxford Hills on the move. 1st and 10, the Bonny Eagle 25. Brown in the backfield with Carson. 4 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Carson takes a snap, looking to throw it again. He's got Worcester, who makes the catch at the 20, trying to get out an ankle tackle. He does. He's got a first down along the far sideline before he finally stops, but he moves the chains. J.J. Worcester, the catch and run for 12 yards and a first down.
So that's I think four passes in a row, and the pass protection looks amazing.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They have it inside the 15, down near the 12. Tough to tell from our angle exactly where they are. They're either the 13 or the 12. We'll say 13. 1st and 10 from the 13 for Oxford Hills. 9:27 to go, third quarter. The Vikings on the move, and they're doing it through the air for now. 4 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield with Carson on 1st and 10. Carson to throw it again. Near side, over the middle, he's got him. Touchdown, Yannick Lutska! Right over the middle, and Yannick's got 6.
And they're going for 1 again. They're going to kick the PAT. Down 15-13.
So down by 2. They're going to bring on the extra point unit to go for 1. A little surprising, but we did it last time. It's 15-13 at the moment. Yannick Lutska over the middle. And now Lutska's extra point is good. We got a 1-point game at the Guay Athletic Complex. We're taking a quick 30-second break. Back in a moment on MBR.org and Ox Country.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. We are live in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth for the MBR Game of the Week. Live on Ox Country 96.9 as well. CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. And Yannick Lutska on the kickoff. Oxford Hills trails by 1 here at the Guay Athletic Complex. At the 10-yard line, fielding it, returning it on the far side, and dropped at about the 25 is the return man. And now we're going to have a late flag that comes flying in because Bonny Eagle is frustrated right now. That's going to be on the Scots, and the Vikings know it.
Yeah, they're getting chippy, and this crowd is electrified. They are loud right now.
No doubt about it. There was a little shoving that went on by the ball, the return man. I didn't quite get an eye on it. I don't want to say who I thought it might be because he shoved the Vikings player after the play was over. So with 9:03 to go in the third quarter, Bonny Eagle leads the Vikings by 1 point. It's 15-14, and Bonny Eagle's going to have not very good field position here. They're going to be backed up to about the 13-yard line, their own 13. Let's see, they have Maturo in at quarterback. He's their runner. White to his left. On 1st and 10, Maturo looking to run. Up the middle, and he is met by a pair of Vikings. And you better believe that's big number 74, Austin Dowdy, leading the charge. Maturo got 1 on that one, not much. They're at the 15-yard line. He got you 1 yard, 2nd and 9. Maturo in shotgun with White to his left. He'll fake the handoff to White and run it himself. Far side, Maturo still on his feet down the far side. dives for the pylon, for the yard marker, and Bonang was in the area, and Maturo, a good run there for what I believe is going to be a first down. It is.
Looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage, but he managed to get away from at least 2 tacklers and go for the first down.
He got the 9 yards he needed to his own 25-yard line for Bonny Eagle. The score is 15-14 in favor of Bonny Eagle. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Maturo in the gun with White to his left. He's got 3 wide receivers. Maturo will keep it again. Running far side. Gets past LaFrance down the far side. Bonang hits him out of bounds. But Maturo, who we know can really run it, he entered this game averaging 9.1 yards per carry. Gets another first down for Bonny Eagle. He was forced out at the 38. 1st and 10 for the Scots.
The defensive line has got to do a better job of setting the edge and containing him on those read plays.
White to the left of Maturo. They'll give it to White this time, up the gut, and tripping him up after a short gain was David Dingley, who came diving in there. And he got his legs, and now Dingley will check out after making that tackle. He got out to the 42-yard line. About a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Maturo is going to empty the backfield. He's got trips to the right, 4 wide receivers. On 2nd and 6, Maturo looking to throw it quickly out to his wide receiver, his favorite target, who is just really hard to bring down. That's Nate Ferris. And Ferris moves the chains as he gets out across midfield into Viking territory all the way down to the 46-yard line. So Nate Ferris, that play worked in the first half also on their opening drive. Ferris lines up in the slot on the near side. 3 wide receivers this time. White to the right of Maturo. Maturo will run it himself up the middle. Now cuts near side. Maturo on the move. Maturo trying to get to the edge, and he is denied. Alex Turner stops him at the 40-yard line. Still a good game, but it could have been more.
We've seen a lot of that before. You're not gonna beat Alex Turner on the edge there. He's an amazing open field tackler. He rarely misses those.
6-yard run. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the Oxford Hills 40 for Bonny Eagle. They lead 15-14 over the Vikings here in the 3rd quarter. White to the right of Maturo's in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. And this time it's going to be White running far side. Cuts back, and he is stopped after maybe 2-yard gain on the play, as Worcester was in on it, along with a couple other Vikings as well. 3rd down and 2 for the Scots. This is a huge 3rd down for this Viking defense. This is a tough team to stop when they're running it with Maturo and White. Those 2 guys are both very, very fast. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 2. White to the left of Maturo in the gun. They give it, they fake the handoff. Maturo will run it himself. Worcester got him, but he kept going. The ball came out. And the Vikings have it, I believe. Bonang recovered the fumble. Oxford Hills football.
Like we said before the game, if any defense is going to force turnovers against this offense, it's going to be Oxford Hills.
That is the 2nd fumble Bonny Eagles lost this season, if you don't count the punt thing they did earlier. It was a fumble, basically. But nonetheless, Oxford Hills football. 2nd turnover in this game. 1st and 10 from the 33 from the Vikings. Carson in the shotgun, takes a snap, settles in the pocket, throws far side. He's got his man Turner. Turner to midfield and driven out of bounds into Bonny Eagle territory. Alex Turner, 1st and then some for the Vikings. Boy, that turnover, I thought he was surging forward. It was the ball that went forward.
Right.
And it was recovered by the Vikings, I believe by Bonang, although they were very calm about it. They didn't make a big show of it. They just handed the ball to the ref and said, hey, it's our ball.
Yeah, we didn't really know what was going on for a second.
So the Vikings did indeed recover the fumble, though. They had it 1st and 10 at midfield. 5:52 to go in the 3rd, trailing by 1 point. Carson in the gun. Takes the snap, back to pass, rolls right, settles in the pocket. He's got Luchka at the 45, down to the 40 on the far sideline and driven out of bounds. Inside the 40, down to the 38, and another Viking 1st down. Lutska had the touchdown pass on the touchdown reception, I should say, on the previous drive.
Colton Carson's got to be racking up the passing yards right now.
He is having a whale of a game. He has been very accurate. He missed that one deep ball. Besides that, he's been almost perfect. 4 wide receivers, trips to the left. Carson in the gun. In Bonny Eagle territory at the 38. Carson deep drop to midfield. They tried to set up a screen to LaFrance, and that was read like a book by Nate Ferris, the outside linebacker, and LaFrance is denied any yards that time. No gain on the play.
I was thinking that was the first time that they were really getting any pressure on Colton Carson, but then I realized it was a screen,
right,
and it's designed to be that way. So, yeah, they still haven't gotten any pressure on Colton. He hasn't been hit in the pocket. He hasn't been sacked, I don't think. So,
been a great job by the offensive line today for the Vikings. 2nd and 10 now after no gain on that completion. 4:50 to go, third quarter, trips to the left. Carson back to pass, settles in the pocket. He's got time. He's got Worcester, but Worcester drops it at the 35. There's a flag on the far side of the field.
I think it was a false start on Alex Turner. He may have been a fraction of a second too early.
I'm seeing a holding call. I'm seeing a holding call, but who is it on? It's on the defense.
I was wrong.
Defensive holding. We'll see where they end up spotting the ball. I never remember if it's 5 or 10 yards at this level. There are no automatic first downs. It has to be beyond the sticks if they are to move the chains. And it's a 10-yard penalty, so that's a first down because they needed 10 yards, and they got it. So the defensive holding results in a first down for the Vikings, I believe.
No.
Yeah, they're saying move the chains. The refs are indicating it. Yep. To the 30.
Well, it shouldn't have. They had it down that they lost about a half a yard on the on the screen to Parker LaFrance.
Now there's some confusion here. Are they moving the chains or not? The refs keep telling them to move the chains. The chain gang's not doing it. Now they finally do. First down, just inside the 30-yard line. It's from the spot of the foul, so it might be in front of the line of scrimmage.
True,
Probably the reason. All right. LaFrance in the backfield.
They have it at 2nd down.
Well, it's first down.
Hopefully they figure that out.
Chains. Kips to the left. Carson in shotgun, takes a snap. He's going to run it right up the middle. Big hole. Carson to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Oxford Hills. And they have the lead. With 4:33 to go in the third quarter. Colton Carson, 30 yards and a touchdown.
What a beautiful draw play. That was wide open up the middle. And they really set it up by passing so many times the past couple drives.
They lead 20 to 15. Extra point coming up. Low snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. With 4:33 to go in the third. Oxford Hills leads Bonny Eagle 21-15. Quick 30-second break here on MBR and Ox Country.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, Athletic Apparel Consultant, at 207-869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com.
Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. It's Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Video feed, MBRradio.com, MBR.org. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on Ox Country, and it's lived up to its name. Oxford Hills has a 21-15 lead over Bonny Eagle with 4:33 to go in the third quarter after Colton Carson's 30-yard touchdown run. Yannick Lutska on the kickoff to the 10-yard line, where it's fielded by White. White cuts back, middle of the field. There's a flag on the play. He is tackled at the 35-yard line, but there's a flag all the way back at the 30-yard line on the return by White, and that's in the area of a block in the back or a hold. But we'll have to wait and see officially. Block in the back.
Bonny Eagles really hurting themselves with these penalties.
Remember, they had the unsportsmanlike conduct earlier. Now they have a block in the back. But it's been 2 turnovers. 2 fumbles by the Scots have led to 2 touchdowns for Oxford Hills. It was that fumble. They were moving the ball on that earlier drive, and they fumbled it, and Oxford Hills answered in a big way. They are backed up now at their own 20-yard line, Bonny Eagle. Colton Carson has 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass today. 4:26 to go, third quarter. Bonny Eagle 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Their passing quarterback, Keegan Meredith, is in. Meredith in shotgun with White to his right, 3 wides. Meredith passes far side, it's complete. And it's to his fellow quarterback. That's Zach Maturo on the reception. And he's tackled at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Bonang slipped on that too. He would have been there even quicker on that short hitch route if it wasn't for the wet grass.
This crowd very much alive, especially after Carson's 30-yard touchdown run on the QB keep. 3 wide receivers for Meredith. White to his left in the shotgun on 2nd and 5 from the 25. It's White up the middle. Parker LaFrance is there. He gets back up and keeps running, but they did blow it dead. White was trying to sell it that his knee never hit the ground, but there were about 3 Vikings led by LaFrance who wrapped him up, so that would have been really quite the trick if that had indeed not hit the ground at any point.
Yeah, and even if your knee isn't down, they're in high school.
Forward progress.
And they're going to be more apt to just blow the whistle. Because Emerson Brown, we see situations with him like that a lot because he's so good on his feet. But 90% of the time, they'll just blow it dead.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 5. Meredith in shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers, White to his left. At their own 25-yard line for Bonny Eagle. Meredith throws far side. It's off the hands of the intended receiver. Incomplete. He was looking that time for Sean Brilliant, but Brilliant had it go off his hands, and it's 4th down. Bonang back deep. He's been doing a great job in the secondary. They've been attacking him, and he's been holding up quite nicely.
Another 4th and about 4 or 5 yards, so they got to watch that fake again.
White. He will kick it. Bonang on the far side will let it bounce. It bounces and takes an Oxford Hills bounce to midfield. And the Vikings are going to have great field position, already leading 21-15, 2:52 to go in the 3rd. And Oxford Hills can feel it right now. They're up by 6, and they're looking for more. Colton Carson has had a terrific game. He had that interception, but that doesn't really even count because it was the last play of the half, and he was just throwing as far as he could. Besides that, he's got a passing touchdown to Yannick Lutska. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 30-yard run on their most recent drive. Carson in shotgun, 1st and 10 from midfield. Parker LaFrance is the running back. He's got 4 wide receivers. Carson will run it himself. Why not, right? Up the middle. And he refuses to go down. Still on his feet. They finally blow it dead. The ball actually ends up in the hands of offensive lineman
Austin Sanborn.
Austin Sanborn, who they don't actually even have on the, 64, not 54. Yeah, Sanborn ended up with the ball, but forward progress had been stopped already. And Carson dragged tacklers all the way down to the 47.
Wouldn't that be funny if Austin just took it and started running with it?
Right. All right, 4 wides again. LaFrance to the left of Colton Carson. 2nd down and 7 after a tough run. Takes a snap, deep drop in the pocket, clean pocket again, far side, Turner! He's got it! To the 35-yard line and out of bounds! And a 1st down for the Vikings, Alex Turner! The offensive line has been outstanding, as you mentioned. They have gotten no pressure on Carson. He's had time to throw, and when he has time to throw, he is very accurate.
Yeah, when he can step into a throw and really plan off his back foot, he is deadly.
1st and 10 from the Bonny Eagle 35-yard line, 2:07 to go, 3rd quarter. Vikings leading by 6. Carson in the gun, takes a snap, deep drop again. This time he does feel some pressure, but he escapes. And he finds Lutska on the run to the 30. He's to the 25-20 and out of bounds. Yannick Lutska, who already has a touchdown reception today, gets a 1st down to the Bonny Eagle 20-yard line. They mark it at the 18. So give him 2 more yards after that even.
He stepped up and found Yannick Lucia on that drag route coming across his way and just delivered a, easy little throw. It was about like a 5-yard pitch and catch that went for a lot more than that.
Worcester in the slot to the far side. Turner split out wide on the far side. Lutzka on the near side. 3 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield to the right of Carson in the gun. Takes a snap. Back to pass. He's got time again. Over the middle. Oh, he overthrew Worcester. It was nearly intercepted that time by Alex Dyer off his hands. Luckily for the Vikings, it falls incomplete. And we can see Matty B there on the video feed there. He was looking to get the touchdown catch, but in that case, a little bit too far for Worcester. Incomplete. 1:53 to go, third quarter. Vikings lead 21-15. They have the ball, 2nd and 10 at the Bonny Eagle 18-yard line. Colton Carson with Brown in the backfield this time to his right. He's got 4 wide receivers. Takes a snap, looking to throw it again. Why not? Near side, he fires a bullet, and Pruitt cannot quite reel it in. It goes off his hands, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
That one probably should have been caught, but, you can attribute it to the cold weather and the power that Colton Carson throws with. We've seen Bonny Eagle players drop the same type of balls, so this is really the first cold game that they've had because, well, for the past 2 weeks, they played on Saturdays during the day,
right.
So it hasn't been cold, and it hadn't really gotten cold until recently, so.
Colton Carson's got 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 10. Parker LaFrance to the right in the backfield from the Bonny Eagle 18-yard line. Carson looking to throw it. Back to pass. Steps up. There's a flag on the play. He was looking for Lutzka, I believe. Incomplete. It's holding on Oxford Hills. It'll be 4th down if they decline it. They're at the 18. That'd be a 35-yard field goal if they tried one.
Manageable for Yannick Lucia.
Yeah, he's got a good leg.
He's hit one from that distance already.
So now Bonny Eagle, the question is, do they want to accept the penalty, get him out of field goal range, but force him to go for another 3rd down? Or they want to decline it and make it 4th down and a possible field goal.
Right.
Holding, and they decline it. So it's going to be 4th down. So if they wanted to try a field goal, they could. It'd be 35 yards.
You're in the middle of the field. There's no wind. 35 yards. I trust Yannick Lucia.
And if you make it, you go up by 2 scores.
Right.
You're up by 6 right now, and I think the Vikings want to talk it over. They call timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second break here on MBR in Ox Country.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Aaron Morris, Tasker Winslow, welcome back in. Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. They're going to try a 35-yard field goal here in the 3rd quarter. Down the middle, Lutzka, the kick is up. It's got the distance. It's good! Lutzka drills a 35-yard field goal, and the Vikings lead 24-15. How about that?
I told you, I trust Lucia. He's hit one from mid-30s already this season, and he's got the leg for it and the accuracy. It scared me a little bit that the ball seemed to be tilted pretty much sideways, but I think he hooked it in there at the last second.
The refs were pretty, they did not wait. They came out good. It was.
Yep, and that makes it a 2-score game, like you said.
That is a huge kick. It's a 2-score game. The Vikings lead 24-15, up by 9. A minute 41 to go. Bonny Eagle is 5-0. They are number 1 in the heel points in the South, where there's 2 other undefeated teams right now, Thornton and Scarborough. This is a heavyweight opponent, and the Vikings lead by 9. A lot of football left. Here's the kickoff. Lutzka puts a leg into it. Fielded at the 10-yard line out to the 15, 20. 25, cutting out outside and tripped up at the 30-yard line that time is Cam Gardner on the return. So Gardner returns it out across the 30 for Bonny Eagle to the 31, and that's where the Scots will start their drive. $1:34 to go in the third quarter. 24-15. And on the radio side of things, the rest of this one will be commercial free, as the rest of our sponsors are post-game sponsors. So we'll have a commercial free broadcast here down the stretch. It's 24-15 in favor of Oxford Hills. On the run, Maturo gets it out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. Zach Maturo, he's explosive in that quarterback spot for Bonny Eagle. Gets a decent run there on first down. Second down and short. Maturo in the gun. He'll fake the handoff and run it. Maturo running far side. Oh, he's mad. He's spun down. Parker LaFrance. And it'll be third down. LaFrance is doing his thing there at linebacker.
Third and long one, short two. I'd say that unless something catastrophic happens and they lose a bunch of yardage, they're in this situation, they might go for it here on fourth down if they don't get it.
40 seconds to go in the third quarter, 3rd and 2. Maturo with White to his left, puts Williams in motion. It's White this time, up the middle. And he is tackled. He fell forward. First man there for Oxford Hills was number 32, I believe, Cade Truman. He fell forward, but I don't know if he got it. I think he might be short. They're going to measure. He got to the 41. I think he needed to get to the 42, although he's very close to the 42. So this is a measurement situation. With 28.2 seconds left in the third quarter, Vikings lead 24-15. The measurement, he is short. It is fourth down and inches. As you said, you think it's a four down situation.
I think they might go for it here. Yeah, it looks like they're well, I don't know, because their punter's on the field.
Their punter is their running back, Will
Right.
White.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
Maturo's still out there, their QB. 4th and inches. Let's see what happens here. Maturo will run it. Maturo's got the first down as he falls forward. That's really all I need to do.
Yeah, hard. That's a hard stop to make there.
Yeah, he got the yard he needed easily. He got it out to the 44-yard line. And they'll wind the clock with 12 seconds left. And down to 5. Fourth quarter time here at the Gwine Athletic Complex. And through 3, Oxford Hills has a 24-15 lead over Bonny Eagle. We will take a break for the quarter. We'll come back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. This is Central Maine Community College and Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Video feed, MBR.org, and radio on 96.9 Ox Country.
Life doesn't pause when you're in pain. We understand that you want to keep up. Don't stay sidelined from making some of life's best memories. Visit the orthopedic specialists at Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
Aaron Morris, Tasker Winslow, welcoming you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. The fourth quarter video stream is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. Bonny Eagle, 1st and 10 to begin the fourth quarter, trailing by 9. They're going to run it. Maturo up the middle to midfield into Oxford Hills territory before he's finally tackled near the first down marker that time by Yannick Lutska.
I think it's pretty interesting that both teams have kind of gone back and forth between series of mostly running and series of mostly passing, Bonny Eagle, it actually means switching their quarterbacks. But now Oxford Hills has found most of their success with passing, Bonny Eagle with the run.
Yeah, Maturo can really run it, and he gets down to the 40-yard line that time before he was tripped up. It looked like David Dingley was in on that stop again. He's had a good game in the middle of that line. 11:27 to go in the game. Vikings lead the Scots 24-15. The top seeded right now in the heel points in the South, Bonny Eagle Scots at 5-0 on the year. Remember, Bonny Eagle blew out Sanford 47-8, and Sanford beat Oxford Hills, but transitive property is worthless, obviously. Here's the run by White. Far side, LaFrance is there. There's a flag on the play. LaFrance refuses to let go of that jersey, and then the cavalry came, and they stop him for a short game.
Must be a hold.
It's in the area of holding, and Bonny Eagle's moving that way. It is holding on the Scots. That'll move him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. But I mean, Parker LaFrance just hung on to that jersey of Will White and did not let go until the cavalry came to clean up. Moving back to midfield after the holding call. 11 minutes to go in the game. Vikings lead 24-15. I don't know the last time Oxford Hills beat Bonny Eagle. They don't play him every year. It rotates. Maturo will run it. Cuts back middle of the field, still on his feet. Trying to get to the edge, he does. 45-40, near sideline, 30 and out of bounds. Alex Turner chased him out, but what a run by Zach Maturo, the junior quarterback. And Bonny Eagle now on the move.
Alex Turner's on a knee on the sideline. Looks like he's stretching out his calf.
Obviously such a key player for them, Turner. As checking in is Pruitt, his backup in the secondary.
Uh-oh. He's limping pretty bad.
Turner, such an important all-conference defensive back. He's emerged this year as a great wide receiver, their leading receiver entering this game.
Probably just, got a cramp in his calf.
You know, it's going to be painful.
Yeah. Watch, Bonny Eagle will probably...
Attack Pruitt.
Yeah, they'll probably take a shot at him, right? First play, I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, Maturo doesn't really throw it that well, although he's accurate on the short passes, so we'll see. 3 wide receivers. 1st and 10 now from the Viking 26. Takes a snap. He'll run it up the middle. Maturo dives forward to the 20, inside the 20 to the 19, 8-yard run. And he is really doing a good job on the ground, as he has all year. Zach Maturo. 9-point lead for the Vikings. Bonny Eagle marching, though. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard run. 3 wide receivers. White in the backfield with Maturo. Takes a snap. This time, though, they'll hand it off. Ferris running far side. He's tripped up, but he falls forward. LaFrance tripped him up, then he fell forward maybe enough for a 1st down for Nate Ferris. It's close. They're going to move it to a 3rd down and short here. About a yard. Maybe less than a yard here. 3rd down, though, for the Scots. 24-15 Vikings lead. We're in the 4th quarter. 9:33 to go in the game. White up the middle. There goes White, spinning out of some tackles and dragged down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Bonny Eagle. Will White right up the gut. And Bonny Eagle's on the doorstep. Maturo will keep it. Maturo tripped up by his ankles. I think it was Cole Dunham who just got enough of his feet to bring him down.
J.J. Worcester was near him, but I don't know if he was actually the one who tripped him.
Worcester was in the area as well, as you mentioned. So it's going to be 2nd and goal. His knee hit for a loss maybe there. They're at the 9.
Looks like it.
Yep. Maturo in the gun on 2nd and goal. Looking near side. Oh, he drops the football! And he's hammered down by Downey! Wow. He dropped the ball, and then Austin Dowdy put all of his 255 pounds to work right there, bringing him down. 3rd and goal.
Alex Turner is back on the field. Seems like massaged that cramp out.
That's good news for the Vikings. Although, again, they just tried to set up a pass play there, and he dropped it, so he's a much more effective runner. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and goal. Maturo will look to throw
Pass.
it. Now looking to run. Maturo has daylight. Maturo for the end zone. He is shy.
Short.
He is short by a yard. It's 4th down and goal.
This is a huge play right here. 4th and goal inside the 1.
They will almost assuredly go for it. Especially since they're at a hash mark. They're not in the middle of the field. All right, 4th and goal from the 1 in the shotgun is Maturo. Maturo to keep it himself up the middle, into the pile. He's in. Touchdown, Bonny Eagle. Zach Maturo from a yard out. And it's a 3-point game with the extra point pending. Now, they've gone for 2 once and made it. They've kicked an extra point once and made it. They are bringing out the tee. Just in case, this formation they do is so wild. White is their kicker, and they are lining up for an extra point to try to make it a 2-point game. Extra point from White is a low-line drive. It's good. With 7:23 to go in the game, the score is Oxford Hills 24, Bonny Eagle 22. We will keep it right here. A reminder that this 4th quarter video stream is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. And we have an instant classic brewing, Tasker, don't we?
Yes, and this upcoming drive right here it means everything. And with 7:23 left, up by 2 points, you have to be careful on this drive. You have to be somewhat conservative, but you also want to chew some clock. And while chewing clock, you want to keep your momentum.
Right.
So it's a really tough balance, and if they can get it just perfect here, run enough time off, and get down and score, it'll be game over.
You got to stay aggressive, obviously. It's only a 2-point game. So the kickoff now from White. But you're right. I mean, their success has been through the air, but that can also lead to more clock stoppages. Short kick at the 20. It's Bonang to the 30. Bonang is driven back, and the whistle blows. 32-yard line is where he was stopped. Michael Bonang on the return. And Colton Carson and the offense will start at their own 33. They spot it. 1st and 10. Carson has been outstanding, certainly today. The highlight by far was that 30-yard touchdown run.
I think you got to keep it mostly in the air here. That's what you've seen all your success on. And like we talked about, might not chew as much clock, but you got to get down the field here.
4 wide receivers on 1st and 10 from their own 33. Carson to run it, and he is stopped. He is denied. That is a terrific tackle that time by number 28 in white, Dylan Cobbett, a senior outside linebacker. Cobbett was all over him, and he lost 1 yard. 2nd and 11. Clock moving. Vikings lead by 2 points, 24-22, 6:48 to go in the game. Carson, 4 wide receivers. Brown in the backfield with them. On 2nd and 11, I should say. Carson in some trouble, rolls out. Now looking to run it. Carson splits 2 defenders, still on his feet, out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. What a run by Colton Carson. It looked like he had nowhere to go. Instead, he gets him set up for a 3rd and very manageable here.
He somehow escaped that collapsing pocket and then made 3 defenders miss for a 10-yard gain.
It was quite the stressful play, I think, for Oxford Hills. They're at the 42, and they need to get about a yard here. on third down. LaFrance in the backfield with Carson. 3 wide receivers. On 3rd and 1, it's LaFrance up the middle, first down and more to midfield. Parker LaFrance. Alex Dyer finally brought him down, but he moves the chains. What a huge first down for Parker LaFrance. 5:44 and counting to go in the game. Vikings lead 24-22. And the ball is at midfield, 1st and 10 for Oxford Hills. They're just shy of midfield, basically the 49 and a half. Brown, the running back, 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Worcester in motion. They give it to Brown, up the gut, Emerson Brown into Scott's territory, down to the 47-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've already taken 2.5 minutes off the clock, so it's
5:03 left and moving, as you mentioned. Biggest drive of the season for Oxford Hills.
no pressure.
3 wide receivers, Lutzka in the slot on the far side on 2nd down. Worcester in motion. It's LaFrance running far side, and he is tripped up, and he has nowhere to go. Great job by the Scots that time in pursuit. 3rd down for Oxford Hills. The ball is at the 47. They need to get to about the 40. A little shy of the 40, so about 6 yards to go here at the Bonny Eagle 47-yard line.
If I was to guess, I'd probably say some sort of a rollout or waggle, you know, so that Colton doesn't have to stay in the pocket. He can roll out, be away from the pressure, and hit a crossing or a drag route coming across that can pick up the 1st down.
3 wides, Lutzka on the slot on the near side. Brown in the backfield. On 3rd down, Carson to run it. Colton Carson, and he is stopped short. He got positive yards. If they want to go for him on 4th down, they certainly could here, although it would be risky. It's 4th and about 2. He got positive yards on the play, but he's coming off the field. Looks like they're going to try to pin Bonny Eagle deep. With 3:38 and counting to go in the game. A 2-point lead for Oxford Hills. They have it 4th and 2 at the Bonny Eagle 42. And they're going to let the clock run all the way down because they want Bonny Eagle to have as little time as possible. I wonder what Bonny Eagle will do because Maturo running the ball was so effective for them, but that keeps the clock moving if you run it.
Right.
Whereas Meredith is their passing quarterback, but he has not been nearly as effective today.
Do they still have all 3 timeouts?
I think so. I don't think the scoreboard indicates that for us.
No.
But, I think they do. I don't think they've called one. They took a delay of game, I think. Yeah, they took a delay of game to move them, to give Lutzka a little more room here on the punt. So they're at the 48 now. Now, we saw Sanford fake a punt in this situation, although that would be quite the gutsy move. Lutzka to punt it. He does indeed punt it, and it's a strong kick, but again, right to the return man. Oh, he drops the football! The ball kicks away! Bonny kicked away, get it! But the Vikings still have a chance! It's still loose! The ball is still on the ground! They're still diving forward on the near sideline! And who's got it? Bonny Eagle recovers! Oh my goodness! About 4 different Vikings had a chance to recover that fumble, but Bonny Eagle falls on it. Great job by Alex Dyer to fall on that fumble because that would have meant probably the ball game for Bonny Eagle if they had turned that one over.
They were trying to scoop it.
Just
Go
fall
for
on
this.
it,
Just
right?
fall
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
That's not good.
They were going for the scoop and score. In the moment, you're like,
Yeah, right. In the moment, but
my.
you got to secure the football in this situation.
So Bonny Eagle recovers their own fumble at the 13-yard line. It's bad field position for sure, but they have 2:48 to work with, down by 2, and it is their passing quarterback, Keegan Meredith, in the game. Meredith is shotgun, the crowd making some noise on 1st and 10. Meredith from his own 12, looking to throw it far side. He throws it deep down the far sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Sean Brilliant, but he overthrew him. Coverage on the play by Alex Turner. 2:43 to go in the game. Vikings lead 24-22. Bonny Eagle has the ball, 2nd and 10 from their own 12.
I think I'm more nervous in this game than I ever was playing.
Certainly, as our video feed, I believe, has given out, but we'll try and describe the audio. The audio's working. Oh, the video's back. We apologize for that moment. We're back on the video. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Meredith in shotgun, takes the snap, throws it over the middle. Intercepted by Bonny! Bonny to the 10. He's dragged down. Michael Bonny with the biggest play of the season for Oxford Hills. The senior with the pick.
Bonny Eagle with 3 timeouts, 2:34 remaining. It's not quite over, but it's almost there.
Bonang with the interception. I got a little excited. He was tackled at the 15, not the 10, but nonetheless, Michael Bonang with the pick.
He made up for trying to scoop that.
Right, he almost had to scoop and score. So now the Vikings have the ball at the Bonny Eagle 15, and they can try to punch one in here. Carson in the gun. He'll keep it. Colton Carson to the 10. And he's tripped up there. Ooh. Nice tackle in the open field that time. Great play by Will White.
Once again, another play where Colton Carson keeps it and Will White stops it from being a touchdown. He had one man to beat, and it was him again.
Timeout Scots with 2:21 to go in the game. It's 2nd and 5 for the Vikings at the Bonny Eagle 10-yard line. Michael Bonang with the interception. As Keegan Meredith tried to throw it over the middle, and Bonang was all over it. The Scots called time after that 5-yard run by Carson. But the Vikings can feel it now. They lead by 2. They have the football with 2:21 to go in the game at home, with this crowd making some noise.
Oh, they should keep that going.
They should. Well, on offense, you want to be quiet.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's intimidating either way.
All right, Carson in the gun with LaFrance to his right. 3 wide receivers on 2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. It's LaFrance up the middle, bounces off a defender inside the 5, tackle at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Oxford Hills. And if they can punch it in and convert an extra point, it would be a 2-score lead.
And that would end this ball game.
A little confusion here with the clock. I think timeout was called by Bonny Eagle. They started to wind the clock, and then they immediately stopped it with 2:08 to go. And Tyler, our cameraman, doing a great job right now by hand over there. You can feel free to put that back in your tripod, buddy. I know you're listening, if you can. We have a timeout here. No, he's not going to do it. All right. I don't know what's going on, but he's doing a good job, doing a great job over there in some tough conditions, I'm sure, obviously. Is he not? Yes. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow here on live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. 4th quarter video stream is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. And what a game this has been here. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's at MBR.org or on Ox Country 96.9. 2:11 to go in the game. Oxford Hills leads 24-22. Michael Bonang with the interception of Meredith after Bonny Eagle had forced a punt. All right, here we go. It's 1st and goal for the Vikings. Brown in the backfield. It's Carson up the middle. He leaps for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Vikings! He used all of that 6'5" frame to jump over the pile in for the touchdown. Colton Carson one more time. And the Vikings extend their lead to 30-22. And the all-important extra point. If they make the extra point, it's a 2-score game. They're up by 8 right now. Yannick Lutzka for the extra point. It's up. It is good. It's a 9-point landing for Oxford Hills with 2:05 to go.
That is something I've never seen in high school, is a quarterback going up over the pile like that. That's something you see Cam Newton do and a bunch of tall college quarterbacks. That was crazy.
Unbelievable performance by Carson. I believe that makes 3 rushing touchdowns for him today. He had the 30-yarder,
I think so.
He had the early one, and then another.
And he's got to have well over 100 yards passing, too. And 1 passing touchdown?
Yes, to Yannick Lutzka,
Yep.
who also has a 35-yard field goal.
Right.
So what a performance by those two.
Yeah, another week we're going to have to think about it for a minute to see who we give player of the game to. Quite the debate we'll have.
Lutzka had the huge field goal earlier. Carson's got 3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. And it's 31-22 Vikings with 2:05 to go against perennial power Bonny Eagle. Here's the kickoff by Lutzka. It's a strong boot to the 10-yard line where it's fumbled again, but they pick it up right away and running it out. Still on his feet to the 45, pardon me, the 35, over the 37-yard line that time. I believe it's Cam Gardner again. Junior strong safety on the return. So, Bonny Eagle is down by 2 scores with 1:58 to go. 31-22 Vikings. Bonny Eagle has it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. On their previous possession, Keegan Meredith got picked off by Michael Bonny on the interception there. And then the Vikings converted it. That's the first interception a Bonny Eagle quarterback has thrown this season. And Bonny grabbed it. They haven't been in a situation like this before, Bonny Eagle. Meredith and Shaka has got 3 wide receivers with the crowd making some noise here at the Bonny Athletic Complex. Back to pass, has time, deep down the seam, he overthrew it, incomplete. Bonang and Lutzka on the coverage. Pass intended for Nate Ferris, incomplete. With 1:52 to go, it's 2nd and 10 for Bonny Eagle, trailing by 9.
Bonang came up grabbing his calf, and if I was Coach Danforth right now, I'd probably get him off the field, because if they see him limping around, they'll take advantage of that.
Bonang, they've been testing him all day, it seems like, and he's been up to the task. They've been avoiding Turner and Carson's side of the field for good reason. They have 7 combined interceptions this year. 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10 for Meredith. Back to pass, under pressure, now looking to run. He's got some pretty good foot speed himself, and he's hit out of bounds hard, out across the 45. I believe it was Parker LaFrance who tracked him down. Yes, it was in the end. LaFrance on the stop. To the 46-yard line goes Meredith, shy of the 1st down. 1:43 to go in the game. Vikings lead 31-22. 3 rushing touchdowns from Colton Carson's got a passing touchdown as well. And Yannick Lutzka has a 35-yard field goal today. Meredith with White to his left. They'll just give it to White up the middle. There goes White into Viking territory. Inside the 45, down to the 41-yard line. And a 1st down for Will White.
I keep losing track of timeouts. Did they use all 3?
They've used at least 2. I know that.
Okay, so pretty soon here, even if they do score, Oxford Hills will be able to just run the clock out when they get the ball back.
Meredith under pressure. Steps up and looking to run now.
Don't let him out.
Downey chases him down and drives him out of bounds. Austin Downey showing some good foot speed, the senior defensive lineman.
They've got to try to get some tackles in bounds to keep that clock moving. Force them to use their last timeout, if they even have one.
Ball at the 36-yard line of Oxford Hills. He did go out, so it's 2nd down and 5, 1:20 to go in the game. Vikings by 9. 3 wide receivers. Meredith to throw over the middle. He's got his man for a completion. Nice catch in traffic that time by, I believe, Chase Graves, number 22 in white. Yes, it was. And a 1st down for Graves to the Viking 25. in the hurry up with 1:10 to go in the game. Down by 9, Bonny Eagle. 3 wide receivers. Meredith looking to throw. He's looking for his tight end, and quickly out of bounds goes Tyler Williams after about a 5-yard gain. So Williams on the catch, and they get it inside the 25 down to about the 23, I believe. So it's second down. 3 wide receivers. Meredith just gives it to White. White so explosive, but he's tripped up there. Good angle tackle that time by, I believe, number 43, Colt Dunham, or 32K Truman. One of those guys was in there. 3 wides here. So they're on the move. White at the 15, cuts back to the 10, spins down to about the 5-yard line. Goes Will White. That is shy of the first down. They still need about a yard, but the clock is more their enemy now. 40 seconds left in the game. Down by 9. Meredith in the gun. Looking to throw for it. Throws near side. Intercepted! It's Bonang again to the midfield. Bonang, one man to beat to the 40. 35-30, 25-20. He's slowing down, and he's tackled at the 15-yard line. Michael Bonang did it again for the Vikings.
Wow. What a game.
And I think we know who our Goodwin Chevy player of the game is now.
Yeah.
They've been testing Bonang all day, and he's picked them off twice in the biggest situation possible. I think he's ran out of gas.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe one more cutback.
Yeah.
He would have picked up a block from J.J. Worcester, but he was running on fumes there.
Meredith, the quarterback, finally chased him down. 15 seconds left. This one's over. Basically, 31-22. All they got to do is take some knees now. Victory formation for Oxford Hills. Colton Carson takes a knee. The clock winding down. And that'll do it. Oxford Hills has upset Bonny Eagle. But I don't know how much of an upset this is.
They're both number one. Yeah.
The Vikings win it, 31-22. And Oxford Hills moves to 5-1 on the year. And Bonny Eagle falls to 5-1 on the year. Michael Bonang with 2 interceptions down the stretch, Tasker. You told me before the year, watch out for him. He's underrated, and
right.
He just had his coming out party, didn't he?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a secret weapon. I didn't know whether he'd shine more on the offensive side or the defensive side, but I'd say now it's definitely on the defensive side. He sealed that game single-handedly.
I mean, you could tell Bonny Eagle, they obviously wanted to run the ball, but when they were throwing it, they were avoiding Turner and Carson.
Right.
Because you see all those interceptions those guys have had this year. So they tried to attack Bonang all day, and Bonang was holding up, and then he got the big picks he needed.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to avoid Turner and Carson, and you're like, okay, we'll throw to the other side. And you see Bonang and Luksha, and you're like, oh, God, they got athletes all over the field.
What a statement. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. Oxford Hills beats Bonny Eagle 31-22. Back in a moment here on MBR and Ox Country.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
31-22, the final. Oxford Hills has knocked off the top seed from Class A South. Bonny Eagle in the most recent Hill points. Bonny Eagle at 5-0 was first in the standings, and Oxford Hills was first in the North with their 4-1 record. And now, that's quite the win. That'll help your Hill points, won't it? Just a little bit.
Yeah, that'll help you out quite a bit.
So, 31-22, and if you recap the scoring in this game, I won't go in order, but you look at Oxford Hills, what they did. Colton Carson had 3 touchdown runs, including that one where he leapt over everyone in the end zone. Also a 30-yard touchdown run that was very impressive. Yannick Lutzka had a 10-yard touchdown reception and a 35-yard field goal that he drilled right down the middle. So that was the scoring for the Vikings. For Bonny Eagle, Will White had a good game. Certainly, he had a couple of rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown, I believe, in this one. For Will White, he had scored all their points in this game. Did White there for Bonny Eagle, but in the end, Bonny Eagle just didn't have the passing game to rally once the Vikings took the lead. It seemed like.
Right. Yeah. With the whole 2-quarterback system, they were having a great time on the ground with their running quarterback, but they couldn't get anything done through the air there at the end.
So again, a Goodwin Chevy player of the game is Michael Bonang. On defense, 2 interceptions, and even before those 2 interceptions at the end of the game when they need them most, he was rock solid in the secondary because they were testing him all game, and he was on top of it. But he may be the player of the game, but Colton Carson was outstanding. Yannick Lutzka was outstanding as well. Everyone really played quite well tonight.
Right. I'd say maybe Colton and Yannick both had amazing games. Mikey, stat-wise, had a great game too, but he was just clutch. That was the biggest thing.
So Bonang, player of the game. Oxford Hills winners 31-22. Mike, congrats to Michael Bonang on the Goodwin Chevy player of the game honor. So, next week, Oxford Hills will take on Portland right here at the Gwen Athletic Complex. We'll have the coverage on the Ox and, of course, the video feed at MBR.org as the Vikings continue their march towards what could be their best season
ever.
Perhaps indeed. It's been a while for Oxford Hills since they've won a state title. I think it was in the 90s. Is that correct?
01 was last time they went.
01 was the last time they went.
Yes, I don't know when the last time they won one.
So, but they are certainly the prohibitive favorites right now in the North. They got to back it up next week, though, with Portland right here at the Gwen Athletic Complex. Thanks to Tyler for running the camera on the video feed. Thanks to John back in studio running the board on Ox Country. Thanks to Maddie B for helping us out as well, of course. For Tasker Winslow, my name's Aaron Morris. The Vikings have arrived. They defeat Bonny Eagle 31-22. Have a good night.